So The Flash is just a massive mess, like a complete mess. You check this as a headline out. The Flash director, Andy Muschietti, would introduce the Reverse Flash in the sequel. Why? What? Why would you not resolve the situations that were very clearly created by that character in the first film? Why would you even... What? You're an idiot. That's terrible writing. So if you've seen The Flash, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, spoilers ahead. Obviously, the Flash goes back in time as per the original Flashpoint film to save his mother. Or comic story. Oh, who was it? It was the Reverse Flash. Reverse Flash, Eobard Thawne. Obviously killed his mother. Obviously, like, it's very clearly set up in that film that that is what happened. Oh, mysteriously his mother's been stabbed. How? It all happened in a flash. Didn't go into any of that. Didn't care. Just tried to save it with a tin of tomatoes. But don't worry. We'll introduce that character in the sequel. Why? It's the same story. All you did was introduce Dark Flash like a dunce. God, what an idiot. What an absolute idiot. And he even says it. He's like, well, Reverse Flash is the elephant in the room, right? Well, I mean, not really. It just makes you look like a terrible, terrible screenwriter. It feels like you can't make another movie without addressing the one that, in all accounts, is the murder of Barry's mother. So it feels like the big villain. It is the villain that you should have actually done in the film that you were trying to... What an idiot. So we'll just take elements of the Flashpoint, butcher it massively. God. Seriously. What a fucking dunce. Excuse the language, but... And this is apparently the greatest superhero movie of all time. Apparently the greatest superhero movie ever written. James Gunn. Are you high? So the director added that he'd also like to see the fastest man alive in live action against the Turtle at some point, the slowest man on Earth, Gorilla Grodd, of course, and many more. I'm amazed you've been given Batman the Brave and Bold. Just as an FYI, that makes me incredibly concerned for that film. Why would you even take elements from Flashpoint, a brilliant, brilliant story, absolutely fantastic story, and then just butcher them, chop them up into tiny pieces, scramble them like an omelette, and then go, you know that bit of yolk, that yellowy bit of yolk, we'll use that one for the sequel. Why? It's it's part of the main course. Fuck. Oh, goodness me. It really does go to show that, one, screenwriting is dead in Hollywood, unequivocally. So you swapped out Reverse Flash for Dark Flash. Pointless. Absolutely pointless. Genuinely, utterly pointless. The entire story... What was this, some kind of bait and switch? You were trying to make people go, oh, wow, look at that. God. What a Can you imagine that as two films? You see The Flash, and you see Dark Flash as the villain, and then you see the sequel to The Flash, Flashier, Flash 2, Flashier, and then it's the same, basically the same thing. It's basically the same story. The Flash must go back in time to save his mother. Sorry, what? Didn't I just see that film? God, fucking writing in Hollywood is absolutely dead. No wonder this film will legitimately lose about $300 million. And I've said this before. I did a video, I think it was on Saturday or Sunday, saying that this film will lose $300+ million. So many people have gone, oh, you're talking blah, 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 you're full of shit. Shut up. You don't know anything that you're talking about with respect to box office numbers. This film reportedly had a budget of $200 million. It's definitely more than that, right? But let's just consider it is. Oh, let's just say it is $200 million. Sure, whatever. You've then got marketing on top of that, right? So you do the 2.5 times calculator, break-even point. So $500 million, break-even point. It's not going to hit that. It didn't hit $200 million opening weekend. It'll drop off the face of the earth this coming weekend. Theatre cuts are a thing. People are so incredibly dense. Do you not think that the theatre you went to watch it in takes some of that money that you paid them? God. Very, very strange. This film is a huge tank. And then loads of people are defending it. You got Kevin Smith defending the Flash's cameos. It didn't feel like an insult. You weren't cameoed in it, you dipshit. You can't say it didn't feel like an insult. Can we stop being offended on behalf of people? It's not your place to be insulted or not insulted. This idiot comes out. It's like, I thought it was just a really nice homage to the past. It didn't feel like an insult. That, mate, you wrecked He-Man, so shut up. That felt like an homage. Some people are like, yeah, but they're not alive to say yes or no. This is the real thing that you know he doesn't know what he's talking about. And you know, I don't know any actor who would be like, don't use my image when I'm dead. I'm pretty certain there's a fair few high-profile actors that have come out and said, don't use my image when I'm dead. You don't go into this business to try to be shy, right? You want to be seen. Yeah. With movies you approve of. You dunce. And then he goes on to say apparently you can just use his likeness in anything. You can put him in a porno. Mate, you probably already have, I would imagine, by some gross, weird people. Anyway, The Flash is an unmitigated disaster. It's everything wrong with Warner Brothers. And it's also everything wrong with James Gunn taking over DC. I mean, again, I've already given you a spoiler warning, but they're like, yeah, no, George Clooney's got nothing to do with anything moving forwards. Good. So now we can confirm, undoubtedly, that this Flash is not coming into the new DC universe. Yeah, can you just come out and admit that and let it bomb? Anyway. And then you've got other actors that have literally had their likeness taken. Teddy Sears. And he's like, I mean, that looks like my likeness. People kept telling me that I was in the new Flash movie. I mean, I'm sleep deprived with a newborn at home, so my memory's a little foggy, but I'm pretty sure I would have remembered shooting a major DC studios. Sadly, I'm not in this. So they stole his likeness. Literally stole his likeness and didn't pay him by the sounds of it. This film's a shit show. And it's shit. Well, it's a 5 out of 10. It's literally what I gave it in my review. Goodness me. Goodness me.